Today, let's talk about why so many INFJs feel lazy and unmotivated. We inherently believe there's something wrong with us because we see those external accolades, we see those external goals, and so often we feel like if I wanted to, I could. I just don't want to. Like, what is that going to change? I'm not going to feel any different because I have tried this before. I've gone after things that people said we should want and I achieved them and I didn't feel anything. So why should I go for things? And a lot of INFJs are in that space. I was in that space for a very long time and it was very difficult to find a way out. But I have found a way out. For me, I have found a way out for so many INFJs that I've worked with. And today I want to share with you the basis of it all, the fundamental things that made the biggest difference in my life. Because it's not about doing things that you don't want to do. It's about figuring out what you want to do. And that for us INFJs, these things are not going to be shown out there as examples all the time. We have to figure them out. And today I want to show you how to figure it out. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you want some more help with whatever you're going through, then check out all the material that I'm offering. You can also look into coaching with me one-on-one. I also offer an ebook, an audio guide, free material. So there's something for everybody. Make sure to check out the links in the description and lean into your personal journey today. There are two main aspects I want to talk to you about today. And the first one I'm going to keep rather short. And that is the fact that whatever we do is probably not going to be fast in general. We as INFJs really use our introverted intuition as our hero function. It's the thing that we rely most on. It is all based on we know what we want and we can hold on to it. And then taking action on that is going to require some time because we have to turn reality into what we believe internally, and that takes time. So from the outside, that in itself will look like we're moving slowly. I have videos on this topic, but this is something that we should just accept as our baseline and not think that this is a bad way. The thing we need is progress. INFJs who don't feel progress in their life always feel like something is missing, always feel like we are in a depressive state, life is happening outside of us, and we just don't feel like ourselves. So I do believe that we need progress. I do believe that we need to grow. And in order to grow, we need goals. And that's where we come to the second aspect, which is going to be the majority of this video. We feel lazy and unmotivated because the thing that we want is to feel like we're living an epic life. We want to feel like we're tapping into our potential. We want to feel connected to the world. We want to feel like we're moving something. We're having an impact on people. We're changing people for the betterment of them. We're making people better, and through that, they stay connected with us. That is what, in essence, makes us feel like we're growing. And we need to tap into this. So you will never ever feel motivated to go for the job that everybody tells you to get, or to create the friendship group that, would look like you have this great social life, if you know that deep down that's really not going to tap into who you are and make you become more of it. It's not going to make you feel like you're in your element, right? So let's say you're naturally the best swimmer in the world, but you're supposed to go rock climbing, right? Because everybody does rock climbing, and in society it's shown like rock climbing is the next best thing. No matter what you try, you'll never feel like, that's something that's going to motivate you because, okay, I don't care if I've reached that height or I've reached that height, I'm still climbing a mountain and I don't care about climbing. So I know this is a metaphor, but you can apply it to your real life in a very tangible way. Think about how you can show up in a way where you feel like the hero of your movie. Know that anything external is never going to make you feel like you're tapping into who you are. What we have to understand is that the thing that's going to motivate us is who we become in the process. It's who we impact, how we impact people, that we share our perspective with the world, and that we are of service. Those selfish reasons like, oh, I'm going to go for things and then people are going to see me and appreciate me and all of that, it's just never going to be enough for us because we know what's going on underneath this. We know that this is just something that is supposed to feed your ego and it just doesn't work for us. And so, of course, you could tell yourself, well, why are other people so excited about like doing those things and I'm just not? Well, they may have to work through ego things. For some people, it's exactly what they should be doing. At the end of the day, we don't know people to such an extent that we can know for sure what is the best thing for them. And I encourage all of us to really lean more into tapping into our own potential and through that to inspire others. It works so much better than just focusing on another person while we're neglecting ourselves. They're not going to believe us anyway. If they see that we're not really in the best state, that we're not really excited about our life, that we feel lazy and unmotivated, it's not going to have that effect on people. So knowing that we want to have an impact on people, that we want to change the world in one way or another through the way we see it, we have to tap into our last function, extroverted sensing, meaning we have to start taking action in the real world based on who we want to be. And I give you a very simple example. If people tell you you should sleep more, why? What for? Like, how is that going to make my life better? People tell you to work out more. Why? I know it's healthy, but that's just not motivation enough for me. But if you think of it from the way of, if I want to step out of the norm, if I want to create that life that stands out in my eyes, so I know I've tapped into my potential. It doesn't matter if another person thinks I'm doing something amazing. You're probably going to, be below the radar anyways. When I first started this channel and I wrote the book, it was first called Below the Radar, Above the System. For INFJs, it very often looks this way because us going for what we want is going to be invisible to most people. We're going to be in our own lane and it will have an effect on other people, but most people will not get it at first. And that's a choice we have to make for ourselves. And so I ask you, what is a dream of yours? And a dream in a sense of how can you be yourself while sharing your gift, while sharing who you are? I always say, look at past situations in your life, past relationships, particularly the ones that have triggered you the most, where you wanted to help and it wasn't accepted, where you saw something in another person and you were willing to dim your light to such an extent to just make them feel something. All of those situations are great indicators for what we want to do in our life. What we neglect so often, though, is that we have to put the oxygen mask on ourselves first. If we're not doing this, we can't maintain it. And we can't also convince people to listen to us. But people are way more likely to listen to us if we become an example of what we preach, of what we show to the world. So that's why it's super important to make sure that you're physically at your best, that you optimize your relationships, that you create prosperity in your life, that you tap into your purpose, and that you look into your priorities. Those are actually the 5 pillars I work with in the bootcamp. We have a poster on this. Everything you want to know about this, you can check out in the link in the description. But the main point is that if you're looking for something external, you won't find it. But that does not mean that you can create everything that you want by staying in your mind. You do have to tap into the real world. You have to start with where you're at. You have to see reality for what it is right now. So I'm not talking about, I have those great ideas in my mind. I'm talking about the tangible things in your reality. This is my family situation. This is the apartment I live in. This is my job. These are the friends that I have. These are the relationships with my coworkers that I have. What do I like? What do I not like? And how can I tap into something where I can bring out what is actually me? And the thing that we are most is our perspective. So if you say, I want to share my perspective in one way or another because through that, I want to impact people to become a better version of themselves, to be happier, to be more fulfilled, show them another perspective of how they could see the world, one way or another, I first have to use all the knowledge that I have to create the best life possible for me while doing that. So use your intuition. How can you improve your life? For me, that meant I didn't want to work in a corporate job. That was me. That does not mean that this applies to every INFJ. I just knew this for me. I also knew that I needed a way to express what I had to say. So that's why I started this channel. In the beginning, I was pumping money into this. This was not something that was supposed to get me out of my corporate job. I just knew my corporate job isn't going to be the thing that's going to get me excited and keep me excited for the next, 30 years or how long it was. But I didn't do those things parallelly in the hope that one day, my channel and my passion project and my way of being of service and sharing my gift is going to be the thing that's going to get me out of my corporate job. But I also knew that I have to look at my life the way it is today and what can I change? What can I add to my life to make it feel better from my perspective? And for me, that meant I had to get a better job. So at least there are people who are challenging me. At least I have more money at my disposal, which allows me to maybe take some risks, that allows me to invest into the things that matter to me. And also to tap into my purpose. It was really something that I added to my life. It wasn't something that was supposed to make my life easier. It was meant to make my life fuller. But you know what I needed? I needed more energy. Because that's what it's all about. Stepping out of the reactive way of going through life and becoming the creator of our life and being really motivated to continuously take steps into creating the life the way we want it, we have to be at our optimal health. We have to optimize our physical energy. And that does not mean that we have to be athletes. I, to this day, am still way worse in any sportive activities in comparison to my, ESTP, ISFP, and all of those friends of mine. Like, that's not the point. The point is that I knew, how can I optimize my energy? And that's what motivated me to sleep better. That's what motivated me to work out twice a week. That's what motivated me to improve my health. And that's what also motivated me from cutting out people that drained me, because I needed as much energy as I possibly could gather in order to add something to my life. Because in the beginning, setting boundaries, sharing your gift one way or another through art, through talking to people, through voicing your perspective is going to require additional energy. But through that, you start creating this momentum that allows you to get more energy back than you're actually putting out. But it's not going to work by us just putting in less and less energy into things. This works if we know I don't even want to be here, right? So I'm going to be tolerated if I stay at this company. Nobody, my friends or my family is going to think I'm wasting my life. It looks good on paper, but that's exactly it. It's mostly those situations that, don't bother anybody, that keep us in places where we know something is missing. Because the things that we as INFJs need in life, they're not tangible. Nobody knows them but us. So we have to take steps without anybody being there who really expects us to do that. Writing that book, nobody is going to be around you and ask you, why haven't you written that book yet? Particularly not if they have done that either. But I'm here to tell you, if you feel like something is missing, try this route. Try and see how you can set up a system that makes you feel more alive day after day. The first time I created a video, I stepped out of the norm, I wrote my book, I self-published it, that's when I knew I'm tapping into it. Because it wasn't about having reached some kind of external accolade or goal. It was that I was on a trajectory towards the person I wanted to become. And that's the moment I knew I'm tapping into my potential. I'm taking control over the things that I can and neglecting everything else. We cannot change people. It's hard enough to change ourselves. So make this your first priority. And don't feel like you can change without changing your external environment. That's why I always say we as INFJs, we need externally observable facts. It's not enough to work through feelings. It's not enough to get a different perspective. Anchor it in, because that's how you start creating a momentum. How do you anchor it in? Have something that you could theoretically show to another person. I did write that one page. I did apply for a better job. And don't look at it from the perspective of, I haven't achieved my dream yet. Think of it from the perspective of, am I going to improve my life in comparison to how it was last week, last month, last year? And based on the parameters that I set for my life. So forget making a lot of money. Forget about, having this popular Instagram account that everybody looks into. That might not be you. It's definitely not me. For the longest time, I thought, okay, I could actually, be an influencer. I could be somebody who, talks about, just typical things that they talk about. I can't do that. It's just not me. On paper, people wouldn't mind that. On paper, it, might look good. And there are so many things that are similar to that. So I was in consulting for a long time. When I stopped doing consulting and started doing this full time, do you have an idea how many people came up to me and were like, why are you doing this? This was such a cool gig. Yeah, it looks cool from the outside because you're watching Suits and other shows like this, but this is not who I am. This is not what makes me feel alive. I'm not being seen there, and I'm not allowing myself to be everything that I am. I have to dim my light. But I would have never reached to where I am now if I would have said, well, staying in consulting, I cannot be myself, so I'm not going to even be there. No. I was in consulting and I actually took it to the next level. I went to a top tier consulting agency in banking, because that's the best thing I could do at that time. It allowed me to get more motivated in order to stay afloat. It allowed me to really tap into my strengths. It allowed me more income that I could use for the things that matter to me. And a lot of things play into this. So don't think, because the next step isn't exactly what I want, I shouldn't take it. Every single time you take a step towards what betters your life, you are making progress. You will get new feedback from what works for you, from what doesn't work for you, and you can take the next step. We do need progress. If you're in a situation where you feel like, I'm going to, get a promotion in 2 years and then another one in 3 years, but that's pretty much going to happen if I just coast around. Yeah, of course you're not going to feel fulfilled. You're not going to feel motivated to do anything, because we INFJs need the progress. We need to feel like things are moving. And we have to take charge of that. So ask yourself, how can you take charge in your life? How can you improve your relationships? How can you take control over them? How can you optimize your prosperity? How can you tap into your potential? And how can you improve your energy and your priorities in order to make that happen? You're not bound to feel lazy and unmotivated. It's okay to know that you move slowly, and through that you create amazing results. But that is not the same as staying stagnant. We need the progress. So if you feel lazy and unmotivated, then it's because you're looking for something external that's never going to fulfill you. But if you say, I'm going to make the best out of my life, I'm going to make the best out of what I have to offer to myself and to the world, you have already won. Because then you don't compete with anybody. But you're saying, this is something that I can hold on to, because I know that I'm doing everything that I can in order to feel my best, to motivate others, to, inspire others to also tap into their potential, whatever that may be. If you inspire them through your art, if you inspire them through your perspective, whatever it may be, your unique perspective matters, and we have to express it one way or another, even if it's just by showing up. But then show up, show your perspective, talk it, don't hide who you are. And if that means that, people will pull away from you, then that's good, because then the people who could benefit from it will see you, maybe for the first time. Remember, if you want some more help with this process, I have helped a lot of INFJs through that process, through my courses, ebook, whatever it may be, coaching, whatever is the right tool for you, take advantage of it. Everything you need to know, if you want my help in one way or another, you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic that might help you as well, then check out the video you see on the screen right now. I see you in the next one. Bye, guys.